exclusive interview with Popular Rule. That's what you all know her from Instagram. I'm going to have her introduce herself. She has a story to tell, and I want you all to tune in and pay attention. If you have any questions, pin them in the comments, and I will definitely get back to you, or we'll send them to her. You can actually DM her for any questions or anything that you have, any concerns or whatever, or information that you have regarding her story that can help possibly, bring this family to justice. So the floor is yours. Tell your story however you want, top, bottom, up, down, whatever. Just
Alrighty, so as you guys know, I'm Piper. An incident happened with my mom. My mother had turned herself in on her own recognizance on October 11th of 2022. I spoke with my mom that day, actually. We FaceTime. My daughter, she was about to take pictures. She was perfectly fine. My mom was fine. We talk about everything. Anybody that knows me and my mom was like my best friend, but also my mom is like my daughter too. Like I took care of my mom. So
right. And in a sense, if you know what that means,
Yeah. So if anything was wrong with my mom, she would have told me.
Right.
But we
no
did
secrets or nothing.
Exactly.
Right.
So we was FaceTiming. I was running late. She was running late.
Right.
And that was it.
When did she have to turn herself in?
She did have a warrant in West Bloomfield.
Okay.
They won't give me too many details because of HIPAA, and she's still protected until I sign some paperwork with my lawyer to have her estates and things like that, to where I can now speak for my mom.
Right. So this is Oakland County.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it happened in Oakland County. She had a warrant out there, so she turned herself in.
Okay.
And she was supposed to pick up my daughter from school that day. And my daughter got out of school at 3:15. I want to say about 1:30. I didn't hear from her. So at that point, I knew, like, okay, maybe they kept her.
Mm-hmm.
And usually when something goes wrong with my mom, she does have like diabetes and stuff like that, so she takes medication.
Okay.
So if she don't have it, then they'll go ahead and release her and stuff.
Right.
So at that moment, about 1:30, I didn't hear from her. So I'm like, okay, they must have kept her or whatever. So I text her. I asked her, was she okay? She didn't respond. So, okay, at that moment, cool. I really know they kept her. Mm-hmm. So I called to West Bloomfield, and sure enough, they had her.
Okay.
I asked the officer, I said, okay, was she okay? She has her medication. She's, I'm just concerned about her health.
So at that moment, you knew that she was fine. Nothing was going on.
They told me, the lady, she assured me my mother was perfectly fine. That she was good. She had her medication and everything. I asked her, can I come get my mom's property?
Okay.
She was like, yeah. I had her sign over my mom's property to my god sister.
Okay.
My god sister went to go pick it up, and we talked to my mom once again. She was fine. She was like, she was perfectly fine.
Mm-hmm. So they were working with you in the beginning.
They were working with me.
Okay. But this is at the precinct.
This was at the precinct. This was at West Bloomfield.
Okay.
So at that moment, once we got my mom's property, I still talked to my mom. She assured me she was fine. She told me she was about to be transported to Oakland County in Pontiac jail.
I wonder why.
She
because she turned herself in. That's what got me puzzled.
Exactly. She turned herself in. They kept her.
Okay.
They basically saying that they were going to wait her next court date.
Okay.
Now, she did have a bond of $2,500. At the time, we was like, okay, well, we're willing to pay that.
Right.
But we didn't know exactly what it was for. She was supposed to went to court like 2 days later.
Okay.
Or something like, it was like 2 days later. So we was like, okay, well, we're going to let her go to court.
Mm-hmm.
If they're not trying to move for her, if they're not trying to let her out, then we'll go ahead and
rather than paying the money up front.
Exactly.
Right, absolutely.
So we were just going to go ahead and wait.
Okay.
That moment never came.
Mm-hmm.
2 days later, when she was supposed to have went to court, they told me no, she's not supposed to go to court this time. But I knew for a fact that this was the date that they told me that she was supposed to went to court.
Okay.
It was the 18th.
So you had no paperwork?
No, at this point, she went in on the 11th, so her court date was supposed to have been on the 13th.
Okay.
I had no paperwork or nothing.
Her saying to the court that this was just word of mouth.
This was just word of mouth.
Okay.
So at this point, I'm like, okay, well, she's supposed to go to court. We'll just go ahead and wait.
Mm-hmm.
They was like, no, it's not today. She goes to court on the 18th.
Mm-hmm.
The 18th came. Mind you guys, this time I never heard from my mom.
So this is 7 days later?
This is 7 days later. I never heard from my mom. She never reached out to me. That was unlike my mom. Anytime something happens with my mom, if she's in jail or anything, she'd reach out to me.
Right. They didn't give her a call home or nothing?
My mother never called me, even when she was transported over. She never called me.
Okay.
On the 21st, no, the 20th, the 18th, no, the 18th came. The 18th came, she was supposed to go to court again. I called down to the court. They was like, well, no, she didn't come to court. It said that she's in the hospital.
Oh, I was about to say didn't come.
She's in York here. Why did she make it?
Yeah.
But the lady said the reason stated that she was in the hospital.
Okay.
I then called the jail. I called Oakland County. They told me if anything was to happen to your mom, we will call you. Your emergency contact.
Right.
We will give you a call.
That's why you up in that, because you know you heard emergency contact with the person that she will call. You know.
Exactly.
Okay.
So at this point, nothing. They told me that they were going to transport me to the medical unit where she was housed, which they did. I spoke to a lady there, and she told me, she said, I can't give you any information due to HIPAA, and we can't violate your mom's rights. She was like, but due to you being her emergency contact, maybe we could, I can transfer you to my boss, and maybe he can tell you something.
Okay.
I talked to the boss. He assured me that if my mom was to have any surgeries, anything like that, if anything was to go wrong with my mom, they would definitely contact me.
So did you get any of these people's names while you were talking to them? Because 7 days later, like now, this will be like.
At this point, it was so many names. It was so many people that I had spoke with. I was not like.
They were giving you the runaround.
Honestly, I was really getting a runaround. So it was so many people that I talked to.
Okay.
My mom was everywhere. I just was focused on my mom. Like,
was she in the places that they were telling you at the time?
They never told me she went to the hospital. They never told me anything. He just told me that if there's something was to happen to her, then they will contact me.
Okay.
So at this point, I was relieved. I'm like, okay, at this point, I know nothing's wrong with my mom. Maybe she just haven't called me.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she think I'm mad at her because she's in jail. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But something wasn't right with me. I sat at my godmom's table at my god sister at her mom's table, and I just was like, something's not right. I feel it. Like,
Gut feeling.
I'm like, I know something's not right with my mom. Something's not right. I just let it go. I just tried to go with the ease that the guy told me that if nothing was wrong, they they would call me.
She was okay.
On the 21st at 1:30 in the morning, I had 2 missed calls from a number that said Pontiac. At that moment, I knew it was my mom, or it was something about my mom.
Take the time.
I knew it was something about my mama. I missed the call. So the next day, I called back. They answered the phone. The lady said 6 East. So I said, ma'am, this has to be about my mom. I know she's in Pontiac. She's in police custody. I said, I'm in the nursing field, ma'am. I know it's not much you can tell me, but I just need to know it's my mom, okay? I haven't heard from my mom in days. She said, at this point, it was like, it had been about 8 o'clock in the morning when I called because I was getting my daughter in for school. And No, actually, I was getting ready to go to my mom's house to get my daughter from school because she spent the night at my mom's house with my little cousin.
Okay.
So I was getting up and I seen a missed call. And that's when I called the lady, and it had been about 7:30. I called, and she answered the phone. She said 6 East, and she was like, well, I don't know what's going on. Let me find out, and I'll give you a call back. But at that moment, I knew that she knew what was going on because anybody who work in hospitals, your shift starts at 7 o'clock in the morning. You done started your rounds, and you know you done got your report for the day.
So your nursing instinct jumped in then.
So I knew. I waited about an hour. Actually, I went to the gym, and just to see what was going on, I called back. I got a lady on the phone. I recognized her voice was black. And I just kicked it with her. I said, baby, I'm in the nursing field. I know you can't tell me what's going on with my mom, but I just want to know if she's okay.
Right.
And the lady was like, I'm sorry, baby, and I'm not supposed to tell you this. So please don't tell them I told you this, but your mom has died. Mind you, I'm driving on the freeway. I'm coming from the gym. And I'm just screaming like, what? She said, yes, baby, I'm so sorry. I instantly hung up the phone.
Right.
At that moment, yeah. So from the 11th
This was the 21st?
yeah, to the 21st, my mom passed within 10 days. Basically what they're trying to tell me, that moment I went down to the hospital. I knew something was wrong. Mind you, when I found out, no, what happened was, let me backtrack.
Okay.
I knew my mom was at a nearby hospital because the guy ended up telling me that he said, I'm not supposed to tell you, the guy at the jail, he said, I'm not supposed to tell you this, she's been transported to a nearby hospital.
Okay.
So I got to calling around the hospitals, but the hospitals kept telling me she was not
Near
there.
the jail.
Yes.
Okay.
So at that moment, when the lady had told me that my mom had passed, I hung up and I instantly went to my mom's house. But I called back and I asked the lady what hospital they were at. She told me that they were at St. Joseph in Pontiac.
Okay.
When I got down there, my mother's body was already gone. She was
That
already
fast?
gone. Her body was already gone. She was not even in the morgue downstairs. They had already transported her
Were
to
you
their.
able to look, or they just telling you this?
This is what they're telling me.
Okay.
She was already gone for a
Okay.
fact because the nurse told me that they went downstairs because they were going to take me down there to view her.
Okay.
So they were like, she's already gone.
Oh, weird.
She was already going to the morgue. So at that point,
Yeah, fast and open county, don't they? Okay.
she was already at the morgue. By the time I'm leaving the hospital, my little cousin who was at my mom's house was calling me and said that a sheriff had just left to let us know that she had passed away. We had already knew though. At this point, I called the sheriff that had went to my mom's house because I was leaving St. Joseph and they had already did an autopsy on her.
Wow.
They had already did an autopsy on my mom to the point where the detective was able to meet me right around the corner from the hospital on Telegraph in Bloomfield. And he met me and he basically told me that on the way to the hospital, my mother was complaining of stomach pains. And they went on ahead and transferred her to the hospital where they discovered that her gallbladder was inflamed and they performed gallbladder surgery. Once again, I was never contacted. I was never aware of anything of
Did you
nothing
find out
like
if she
this.
consented to the surgery too?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
That's why I had to sign all these different paperwork with my lawyers to release, so I can get all her medical records released to me. I didn't get everything that I needed.
Okay.
At that point, the detective met with me and he told me that this is what happened, that they performed gallbladder surgery on her. Then a couple of days, I guess, later, they sent her back to jail. And she was complaining of chest pains. This is what the first detective told me.
Okay.
She was complaining of chest pain. She flagged down a deputy, and they instantly took her to the hospital. And that's where she still was complaining of chest pain and went into cardiac arrest.
Okay. Whew. I don't even know where to start with questioning because there's a lot of different things going through my head to be spoken. But just the rest.
The second detective then told me on a separate occasion a few months after that she had surgery and she went in and they sent her back to jail, and that's where she was complaining of chest pains, but an inmate flagged a deputy down, and then that's when they came and helped my mom and stuff like that. So it was like so many stories. Then the morgue told me that my mom had surgery on the 13th and stuff like that. It was so many stories. One person told me
Which
she had
is going to
surgery.
take you back to why she probably didn't go to court that first court day.
And they didn't tell me the whole time. So she had already missed the court day, rescheduled it for another day.
Right.
And, you know, that's what they were going to do. Because the lady had told me once she had missed her last court date, that's all they were going to do was just reschedule. They rescheduled it to another day. So, it was so many stories that was circulating that was very contradicting. On top of that, I didn't know exactly what day my mom had her surgery. I ended up getting a letter in the mail on a Sunday, which was weird, pertaining to my mom's surgery. So we do in fact know that her surgery was on the 11th because my mom appealed to stay in the hospital because she knew something was wrong with her. And they denied her to stay in the hospital. And yeah, so I got the appeal letter in the mail of my mother appealing, and they denied her for treatment. So they said it was nothing wrong.
So they sent her back to the jail.
So they sent her back to the jail.
I don't know why they think that leaving the jail and going to the hospital is a vacation for you. Like, it's really no different because once you're incarcerated and under the care of the jail, you don't get treated like, you know what I'm saying? It's not a vacation. It's okay.
So then at this point, of course, you know, my mom's body was evidence. I had to have 2 autopsies done on my mom. I'm not sure if I went the right direction with having about the same person, but I'm just, you know, I'm actually praying on it and I'm leaving it in God's hands. And, you know, I believe that everything is coming full circle. And my mom is bringing me everything that I need. So, any error, I believe is still going to come in full circle. But, we did get the death certificate back. I literally just got it back last week. Mind you, my mother passed away October 21st. I'm literally just getting her death certificate back.
So that is her death
last week. Yes. Yeah, because that was my question too. Like, well, what day did she pass away? Because you know what I'm saying. Yeah. So, and it was like, my biggest thing was I'm afraid because I'm in the nursing field and I see a lot of things be covered up. Yeah. You know, so
you know what angles to take at this, and that's kind of like what's going to help you and get you through it. But go with your gut. I feel like through the whole way, because like you said, it'll all come in full circle, and you're gonna get the justice that you're looking for. I just feel like it's a tragedy. It's such a sad occasion, event, or whatever. But I can't see. I'm trying to think of they cover something. That's what it's something.
So on her death certificate, it states that she passed away due to congestive heart failure and cardiovascular disease. I have paperwork from hospitals. I've visited my mom's internal medicine doctor.
You got her medical history?
I have my mom's medical history documented, everything. Nothing states, even I have papers that state on there where my mom did have chest pain because she suffered from anxiety. She had chest pain, and it actually states on there, heart is normal size, no preliminary enlargement, like nothing, like everything is literally
I was about to
listed.
say, if she had a heart attack, would that ease you a little bit, just in knowing that, because maybe that could have come from anxiety or whatever, or her feeling like, damn, why am I locked up for so long, and I turned myself in, y'all didn't have to come and get me, nobody arrest me.
What gets me and what doesn't make me settle is the fact that you went from gallbladder, then you went from to heart. I'm not understanding. Like, yeah, if it was just heart failure due to the fact that, because apparently y'all must have did something that went wrong with her surgery. Somewhere along the way, whether it was an infection that was set up because you guys didn't properly do something right or something like that, something caused that, because somewhere along the way, when you have heart problems, it doesn't just up and appear within 2 seconds, oh, I have a heart problem, or I just have,
I know that.
you know, so within 10 days of me seeing my mom on that day, and you're telling me that she went in on that day to have surgery, and then 10 days or 9 days later she's gone, and this is what she died from. Then I go to her doctor was like, well, we do know that she had an issue with her uterus, but nothing of her gallbladder.
I would begin to start to question, is that in fact even the day that she died at this point?
Yeah. So this is where it's like a catch-22, because I kind of felt like everyone knows that, you know, I'm moving out of state, you know, and stuff like that, and I don't plan on being here forever, and I'm planning on traveling the world.
Right.
And I want to take my mom with me, so I made the decision to cremate my mom.
Okay.
I'm not gonna keep visiting Michigan to go visit my mom at a grave or anything like that, and shoot.
You feel like
and I'm a real person. Yeah. Shit, I mean, people ain't gonna go see my mom, so I'm taking my mama with me.
You know the truth. That's it. So once you leave here, no looking back, right?
So, and that's another thing. So now, due to the fact that that is the case, if anything was to go left, or I do need a third autopsy, because I don't know my mom's for sure death date, because the guy who did the autopsy, when he talked to my lawyer, he told my lawyer he seen error, but when he talked to the detective, he told the detective he didn't expect nothing. So it's like, you know, yeah.
At this point, you should have been wearing a body cam and a damn recorder. Every single time you talk to somebody, you're like filling these loopholes because it's so inconsistent.
It's so inconsistent. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
That's why it's just like, you just giving me that death certificate. My heart is not easy with that. My spirit is not easy with that.
Yeah.
And once my spirit is not easy with something, and God set that on my heart, then that's just what it is, and I can't go against that. So I know for a fact that something along the way went wrong. I just have to figure out and find out. Not me necessarily, but of course my lawyer gonna do his job. But I'm gonna play the middleman too to figure out what happened to my mom.
Absolutely.
Within 10 days, like, my mother was fine. She didn't complain to me of no problems. I done talked to my mom a few times.
Because you got more information than you were probably supposed to get, and they probably right now are worried about you and what you're going to do with it.
I'm coming.
Being that so many different people were saying so many different things.
Because her internal medicine doctors didn't even know she passed away. So they really didn't dig. They really just went on ahead and seen, okay, she had a heart attack. Okay, she's been complaining of having heart trouble for the last few days, and y'all tell her she's fine.
But ever did she have those pains or complaints at home?
Like, she'll say her chest is hurt. My mom suffered from anxiety. My mom also had, like, I'm not gonna say like mental problems, but you know, my mom suffered from some problems. You know, she had some issues, but she suffered from anxiety a lot.
But not anything that would have, if she was at home, would have killed her.
Nothing would have killed her. Nothing would have killed her. Diabetes, of course, that's, if you have diabetes, you might pass away. Yeah, you know.
So what's your angle with this? Like, okay, you want to get your story out, you want to reach people, and of course you're looking for justice. And I'm praying that you get it. Especially, I don't care who it was. near dear to you. You know, when you lose someone, that's like the hardest thing to ever go through, and then have to search for justice for their death when you don't really know answers and you're not clear with everything that's going on. What are your angles other than just getting your story out? Like, have you contacted the news?
I have contacted the news. Channel 7, they did tell me this is a definitely a legal issue. So they was asking me like, did I have my lawyer? And I was like, yeah, I have the best lawyer. My lawyer, he's on it. So they were like, okay, cool, that's what you need to do. Fox 2, they did take my story. I wait for someone to contact me and stuff like that. But it's not also just to get justice for my mom, but it's a lot of people that really go into the system and be messed up.
There's somebody else in your shoes right now.
You know what I'm saying? And they don't know what to do.
Hopefully the story reaches
It's
them and help
you
them.
know, and that's what it is. It's people. I've been seeing people like, dang, you know, even my child father, he like, you right. When people go in jail, he like, shoot, I went to jail. I was scared.
I've been there. They don't care. They
like,
don't care.
They treat you, and then for her to not even be in there on a sentence, and y'all still treating her like a prisoner, y'all.
I turned myself in. Y'all didn't have to come looking for me, kicking doors down, and arrest me. For whatever the reasons are, you still never even found out what that was. Because they now it's like that's not even a fact anymore now because she's gone, so we don't have to even discuss that. It's like it's over, you know, we can't get the time or whatever, if that's what we were gonna give her. It's just a sweep under the rug.
So
well, get that rug, honey, and shake it out and get all the answers that you need. But first, it's so important. Grieve.
Of course.
If this is helping you to get through it, and everybody grieve different, but grieve for you, for your kids, because I mean, you just need that strength.
I can't even grieve because
until you get the answers.
Until I get the answers, and it's like
I get that.
This thing has been such an open and closed door for me. Like I don't even want to. I don't even want to have that moment right now to where I pour myself out and then I close myself up and get myself together. And then they open the door and I'm in court taking. So it's like, okay.
Because I didn't know what to expect today. I was like, oh,
baby,
get y'all tissues, because I'm a cry baby. I'm like, oh.
Once this is over with, then bring the tissues. But until then, I'm gonna hold it down for my mama.
Absolutely. I commend that. You need your strength for that. So do whatever it takes to keep that strength. And I hope you got a village around you that's helping you to, relax and keep your mind, in the right place and on the right path to get everything that you need so that you know what questions to ask, who to ask them, to, and everything that you need, come to justice. I'm definitely keep you and your family in my prayers because I've never even heard a story like this before. Or when you hear this type of shit, it's like on TV.
It's on TV.
You read about it. You never think it's going to happen to you or me or somebody that I even know or, for that matter.
Because it's unbelievable to me.
It's very unbelievable.
It's just like, when I tell the story, it's like,
I was on all time
it's still so unreal to me. Like I still don't even grasp it sometimes. Like, but I've had a mental break, but I still, but it's so unreal. It's really unreal to be like, okay, I talked to my mom 1 minute. Not only did she pass, like she went out in the street, got shot or something like that. She went into police custody, and somewhere along the way, someone who's supposed to protect her fell.
Right.
Whether it was the hospital or the jail.
So they say, right?
So they say. And
so that's a real life here today, gone tomorrow type of situation. And you don't even know you gotta you don't even know if all the documents that's been documented and printed out and given to you, if they're even real. So you gotta go with just what they say, what they tell you, and that's just that. So do you really believe that this is a matter of something like the system? They work together anyway.
Yeah,
so
but the thing is,
they working together.
I do, but I signed paperwork to freeze all body cams.
Okay.
They cannot discard any body cams, any footage in the jails, anything that seems like it's missing. Like we literally sent paperwork for all that.
Yes, good, good.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it looks like you gotta go. You might have been in the wrong field. You might need to go off into law school or something.
Because everybody
But you'll become a lawyer, a doctor, or whatever you need for your own. And especially to bring yourself and your situation to justice. So I admire that. Because I don't know that I would have the strength to do it. So I definitely admire your strength and your courage and everything that you're doing. And take all precautions that you need, to get the rest that you need, to have the strength to get up and keep fighting. Keep fighting your fight. Don't ever stop until you get just what you. Is the justice even gonna, you know what I'm saying? I feel like you'll get compensated in the end. Once you get justice, and it's what you think that it was in the first place, you'll be compensated well, especially by Oakland County.
I told my lawyer, I said, I don't give a damn how much money it is. You can take that lawyer, you can pay that man who did my mama autopsy to tell the fucking truth.
Absolutely.
You can tell the
Because
truth.
he performed it twice, right?
He performed the autopsy twice, mind you. He works for the jail. He works for the
Absolutely.
same
They all
people,
work
the
together.
hospital.
They all work together. It's a system.
Yep.
It's a system. So
Yep.
one is not gonna out the other without them all falling down. It's like,
Yep.
the bowling effect.
Yep.
One pin fall, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, they got something to protect, but
Yeah.
you got God with you, so you get what you need as
Yeah,
well.
for sure. For sure.
And nobody conquers on God, so yeah.
That's why I've just been in faith. I've been in good faith. I know my mom is with me. I know her spirit is. I know my mom's spirit is. She ain't gonna rest until she know I'm cool. So I feel that's what's really been keeping me on high spirits. And
Great.
I got faith.
Great.
I got great faith.
I admire that.
Oh, yeah.
I admire that.
Yeah. We
So
good.
you're in the right place, your heart is in the right place, and I'm glad that you're doing what you're doing. And how's the kids with
You
all
know
this?
what? My son, he's only 3, so he's not fazed by it. But my daughter, she's suffering from anxiety now. She's getting to a point where she's like angry.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's
How
like
old is she?
she's 8, she'll
Oh,
be 9
yeah.
next month. So she's
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, she's getting to the
Because
point.
birthdays and holidays.
And
will
my
not
mom
be
was
the
her best
same.
friend,
They
so
won't be the same without her.
yeah. So she's going through it, but we're getting through it. For
You
sure.
will just keep praying.
Oh, yeah.
Keep praying. You said the number one thing that you have that you need, and that's the number one tool, faith.
That's it.
That's what's gonna get you through it. And she's gonna bring you everything that you need, every other tool that you need, because she see what
been
you're trying to
bringing
do for her.
She been bringing paperwork. She been bringing. It's been so weird. She been bringing stuff full circle, like
How
stuff.
has that been? Like what type of?
It's a good feeling.
Okay.
I don't get scared. It's a good feeling.
Just
Like
like ready for
I
it.
be knowing.
So are you expecting more?
Oh yeah.
Like you just ready?
Yeah. We went to the movies last night. Literally, as soon as we walked in the movies, I was telling my girlfriend. Literally, as soon as we walked in the movies, they said a man. He said, "You got this shit. You'll figure it out." And that's something that my mom used to always say to me.
Really?
My mom used to. I used to go through stuff. My mom used to be like, "You got this. You'll figure it out. You always do."
She's speaking through other people. Did
And-
you know this man?
No, this was a man on a dang on TV screen. We was going in the movie.
That girl messages
And
coming all
literally,
type of
so, yeah,
forms.
and all I could do was just smile. I said,
Yeah.
yep, I knew that was her. But yeah, it be little stuff that pop up. Like I said, the little papers from the hospital showing what was wrong with her chest. Literally just sitting on top of some paper that I looked at hers. Her mail coming on a Sunday. Like, I'm like, mail don't come on a Sunday. But something regarding her surgery came on a Sunday. So I know.
God all over you. He with you. He with you. He gonna bring this whole situation.
yeah.
Yes. I'm so happy that you decided to share it with me and on
Of
my
course,
show.
of course, and thank you for
Get the word out there.
having me.
Anything that I can do
appreciate
to
it.
reach out to whoever else that I can,
Mhm.
that will bear arms to you and your story and helping you bring it to justice. I definitely
appreciate
will.
it. I
And I'm not gonna stop here, and I'm definitely gonna keep my hands together and pray for you and them. I couldn't imagine if this was my family or if I had to walk in your shoes. It was definitely scary. I watched a little bit of your live the other day, and it was just like I had to get off because I'm just like, oh God, the detail. Your baby was making me laugh. That was
Yeah, oh yeah.
Kept me
character.
smiling, but I was just like, wow. But I admire your strength. The whole way, just like no tears, no nothing. It's just like it's almost as if it's no time for the tears. It's just like we got to
It's
get straight
game
into
time.
business. Absolutely, absolutely. Because I mean, as close as y'all are, she was done for you.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Hang in there. Keep it, right on the board. That's why she's sending everything to you because you're so,
Oh yeah, she know I ain't gonna get no rest until this is over with. She know. So she like, I'm gonna bring it to you before you, so you can hurry up and you can relax. Yeah.
So where are you planning on moving if you don't mind?
I'm thinking about either Georgia or Texas.
Okay.
Either or is in the works
Okay.
within the next year.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Are you continuing out your nursing field?
You know what? I'm not.
No.
I'm actually going to be a Delta flight attendant in Atlanta.
Oh,
So,
nice. You
yeah.
said travel the world, so you
Yeah.
definitely get to do that.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. Cool.
Yeah. So I have that going on next month to go to Atlanta for their interview there.
Okay.
I finally made it to the last
Good
round.
Good
So,
luck with
yeah.
all that. Good luck with everything.
Thanks.
I hope you and the babies keep everything, up and going. Definitely be praying for your baby because anxiety is real.
It is.
It's real,
It
and it
is.
can get scary. So,
It is.
keep your hands on her and prayer.
Sure.
The power of prayer is amazing. Prayer
That's
gets
all.
you through everything.
Everything.
God hears and sees all. So, stay in good faith with all of this and reach out to the right people. You know, you telling your story, so it'll be heard.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be heard by the right people. You never know who's watching or who know who that could, pass something on or share it. So
Yeah, I got some people. I actually got a couple people that's in contact with a couple people up in Lansing, stuff like that. Who's actually working with the governor right now.
oh, yeah, I was gonna say some big fish in Lansing.
So yeah. I got some things in works, with some people talking to some people for me and stuff like that, just in the background a little bit, but trying to get it in front center. But yeah, for sure.
You got detective mode.
Oh yeah.
I told you went into the wrong field.
Yeah.
Leave that nursing badge on the
Oh
table.
yeah. It's what.
And look after some other things, some detecting and some lawyer law school.
Cause I'm gonna get to the bottom. I told my lawyer, I said, we working hand to hand. When I brought him this stack of papers, I even went to the doctor. He said, you got this from the doctor? I said, and I did. I said, if you want something else, let me know and I can get it for you.
But this is the stuff that you supposed to be doing and I got it. So he mess around and pull you in on his
Cause I gotta go about it the legal way. I gotta
Yeah.
wait till you sign the paperwork and they gotta send it to me and stuff. I said, I'm
So
gonna
no
go
threats were made.
I'm
Just
gonna
mean
go
what I
get it.
mean, and that's just
I'm gonna go
this is
get
my
it.
mama. You only get one. You know,
That's it.
you only get one. So a lot of people out there don't have a mother to love on. You had yours all this time until this. So I know that angers you, but I'm glad that you not let your anger reflect on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The path. You getting done the right way. Exclusively.
I
That's
have
just
a
it.
choice.
That's just it. Absolutely.
The law.
Absolutely. Especially Oakland County.
Okay.
Because listen.
Yeah. They
You know
try.
what they capable of.
No,
And you see,
yeah.
this is
I know.
showing, right?
I definitely think so. But
I can't say enough. I admire this man. I can't say enough. That's what I'm saying. So, I mean, you could elaborate a little more. If there's anything more that you want to share or tell. Like I said, you never know who's watching.
No, it's just that, we just want to get it out. Like I said, this is not something just with my mom. Even though it is personal to me,
Right.
but it is a lot of people, like I said, that go in the system, they get jacked up, they get treated like crap. Like, you get treated like you're not human. Like, you're still human no matter what you do, of course you got some people that's like, oh.
Yeah. You just got out treated like a criminal. That's just how they see you.
You just
not
a
even by
criminal.
your name. You just a criminal.
You're just a criminal. That's all they see.
Because they look at it like, especially the guards, we going home and you're not, so we better than you. You're a criminal, so that's how they treat you.
Yeah.
It's regardless of your health and
no, the jail has not reached out to me. Even the guy who had told me if anything was to happen to my mom, that they would reach out to me. He has not even reached out to me. I actually called him when I found out my mom passed away. I actually called him back. I left a message on his line, and I did let him know, like, hey, you told me that if anything was to happen to my mom, any surgeries, anything like that, I would get a call. I said, mighty funny, my fucking mother is dead.
yeah. And I haven't heard from you.
Never heard, still I
You
have
never even
not.
told me that she was in the hospital.
And you have to think, like, even at that moment when I talked to him, and he had assured me that if anything was wrong or if she had surgeries or anything like that, that he would, I would know.
Right.
Mind you, at that time she had already had surgery. He already knew. She was on his little cell, little block.
Right.
He was the manager
Right.
of the medical unit. So he had already knew she had surgery. She had been to the hospital, came back, back to the hospital. He knew that, but yet still,
So how many trips did she take to the hospital during her stay in the jail?
Twice.
Okay.
Supposedly. Twice.
Yeah.
From
Far
when
as you
she,
know.
right. So initially when she first left West Bloomfield jail, in the process of being transported here, she went to the hospital.
Okay.
And then they sent her back to jail, and then she went back to the hospital, and then that's where she passed away.
So that sheriff that visited your home while you were at the hospital to inform y'all that she had passed, what was his take on this whole thing? He just was the person that delivered the message.
He was the person that delivered the message, and he also was the person, he was the detective on the case at this point.
Oh.
He's the detective.
So is he the one that you met with?
He was the guy that I met with, yes.
So what happened? How did that go down when you met with him?
Basically he just told me, like, in the process of my mom being transported from West Bloomfield to Oakland County, she was complaining her stomach was hurting. And then they took her to the hospital and then that's when they performed surgery.
Okay.
But the other the other detective that I had, because I want to say about a month ago, I called the detective because I just wanted to know that he had any updates on my mom's case.
Okay.
He didn't call me. I didn't get any answer from him, so I got a call back probably like 2 days later from a whole different detective. And he was like, "Oh yeah." I said, "So tell me, what do your report says?"
Mm-hmm.
And he said, "Well, from what I'm seeing is your mom went to the hospital and she was complaining. She was complaining of chest pains. They took her to the hospital to rule out a heart attack,
Mm-hmm.
and
So did they rule that out?
But the thing is, y'all contradict the story.
Yeah.
One person says she went because she was complaining of her stomach was hurting
Right.
and she went to go have surgery on the gallbladder. Then you're telling me that she was complaining of chest pains and y'all went to go rule out a heart attack,
How
which
did y'all even know
apparently
anything about the gallbladder?
exactly. So it was like it was like so everywhere it was like, okay, is it her gallbladder, is her chest hurting? Like I'm confused of what's going
And then
on.
now y'all talking about the cardiovascular disease and that's a lot.
Yeah.
You got some detecting to do, huh?
Yeah. So
Definitely.
it's definitely a lot. It's a lot, especially when you're dealing with the law.
Yeah.
I'm
But
literally
their job is
battling
to
with the
serve
law.
or protect. Like, why not help me? Because if there's somebody in there that is actually, like it's always a bad apple in the bunch. You know what I'm saying? Like, get them out.
You always have that. I've been in jail before. You always have that one police officer. It's shitty.
Mm-hmm.
Who acts like they're on top of the world and who use their badge to their advantage.
And Oakland County is more than one. Because I've been there. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, whew, this is, it's sad. But in there, I figure that's in any jail. You know what I'm saying? It's always one bad apple or one bad cop that's just like nothing. Oh, well, nothing matters. You're lying. Like I said, going to the hospital from the jail is like vacation.
Yeah.
So who would just say, okay, shit, I'm going to get out of here, take me to the hospital, like I'm going to get treated better. Nothing's different. You're still a prisoner in there.
Yeah.
So, you're a criminal to them. You're a bad guy.
You're
no
a
matter
bad
what
guy.
you
No
did.
matter as soon as you dart that door and you put your
When
finger
you walk
in
through the threshold, that's it.
That's it.
You're a criminal.
You
That's
are
it.
a
That's what you're
criminal.
treated
Like,
like.
you're gonna be treated like.
Absolutely. So, yeah.
That is true.
You just keep your head up through this whole situation. It's gonna all come to surface. It's definitely all come to surface. They probably be mad at you that you even know this much and that you're airing it and talking about it and keep talking about it to your head.
Oh yeah. That's what's so crazy. I feel
That's
like
gonna be your
I
strength.
said they probably felt like once they gave me their death certificate, I was like, oh okay, well,
This is it.
what she. No,
Oh,
I
because
know
somebody could type something in.
Mm-hmm.
No. On my dad's death certificate, they typed the wrong thing in, and they said he died from COVID, and he did not. So it's just like, my mom didn't have the strength after losing her daughter, and then 2 months after, her husband dying, to fight that. We dealing with grieving. You know what I'm saying? You don't have time for that. And the system just works in their own way because, of course, they got paid for every person that died from COVID. Every person that they treated for COVID, they got paid.
They got paid for it.
Everything had a price tag on it. I'm not specifically saying, this situation, but something went wrong here.
Something went wrong, yeah.
A lot of different things went wrong here. It's just sad. I'm glad that you just, going after it and staying on it.
Oh yeah, because you know what, the guy, I spoke with the chaplain at the St. Joseph Hospital.
Okay.
And he spoke with me on the side. Of course, he couldn't tell me too much because the nurse kept telling him, "Oh, she doesn't know anything. Her mother was the ward of the state, so she doesn't know anything because she was in custody." So I guess that's what they were saying.
But they still called you her next of kin and her emergency contact.
So, so the guy, he was like, "So you don't know nothing?" I said, "Honestly, I don't know anything." And that man told me to my face, he walked me down to the door and he told me, he said, "I've seen too much stuff like this happen." He said, "Fight." He said, "and you will get justice."
Wow. He knows something too. He probably wanted to tell you something.
Yeah.
Put some shit in
And
writing.
listen, when I
They just don't want
talked
their names
when I
attached.
spoke to that man that whole time, that's all the vibes I kept getting. Like,
Yeah.
this man wanted to tell me something so bad, but it was like his soul was screaming out to me, and I felt every bit of it. And he just walked out with me.
Cause somebody gotta be remorseful and somebody gotta have a heart. Like, damn, this somebody's family. It could be you. This lady turned herself in. Y'all didn't go tracking her down, kicking doors down to get her and the rest of her.
Yeah.
Like, you know how people just don't want them monkeys on their back. So you call and you find
And
out that you got
that's
a
all-
warrant, you go and you try to take care of it. As an adult, that's what we do. We try to take care
And
of
what's
it.
so bad is, the thing was, prior to the 11th, on the 9th, I believe it was, or the 8th, she had got pulled over. They took her to jail, impounded her car, released her because she did not have her medication, told her to come back on the 10th, but it was the holiday. Was Memorial Day or something like that on the 10th of October? It's a holiday.
Something, I don't know.
I don't know, but it's a holiday. They were closed.
Was it Columbus? I don't know.
Maybe it was something, but it was a holiday, so they told her to come back. She did just that.
On the 11th, so that was the reason she was going back in.
Exactly.
From the
From her
extension to
getting
the
pulled
arrest and all that.
Yeah. From her getting pulled over, she like, I don't want nothing on my name.
Yeah.
You know, so she ended
Trying to do the right thing.
She ended up going back in and stuff like that. Just doing the
But
right
did,
thing.
but did she run, as she ran and said, forget this whole thing or whatever, y'all catch me when y'all see me next time, then,
Then what?
you know what I'm saying? Like,
My mother would have still been
still
alive.
be alive. But going to try to do the right thing. And ended up dead.
With no
Nobody
answers.
knowing.
No pause, no.
Have you been having like, I know you've been having signs and different little small things happen, but like what about dreams or?
I've had a couple dreams in the beginning.
Okay.
I'm real big on psychics, so
Really?
I went to a psychic and you know, the lady was just like, she's trying to come to you, she's trying to talk to you, but you so like you won't rest. You have to relax yourself, but I'm like, I can't.
Cause you're adamant about, you know, what you're trying to do, so. You see that, you understand?
Yeah, I've had a couple dreams.
A lot of people affiliate psychic with witchcraft, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of people don't believe it, but.
I don't use it for witchcraft.
Yeah.
I more so use it for like my third eye. Like when I want to do something or I feel something, if my vision is a little blurry, I get a little clear. I call it my clarification.
Okay.
So I don't use it for like witchcraft or nothing like that. I
Yeah.
just use it for a little vision.
But you're not psychic. You just you like the business psychic. Okay. I just feel like you know, you're going in all the right directions, you're doing all the right things. I can't say enough. I admire your strength and I commend you on everything that you're doing. I feel like you're gonna be brought to justice, hopefully sooner than later, so that you can move on with your life. Because of course there is life after death. We have to grieve and move on. As hard as that is, I believe for me to even sit here and tell you that, especially about your mom. You know what I'm saying? That's hard. If my mom's still here, I don't really know what that feels like to lose a mother, a loved one, yes, and no death is greater than the other. But it's a sad. Like when I saw your story on Instagram, I was like, oh my God. But then I don't know if we were thinking the same or whatever. I'm like, damn. I don't like to just throw this in, like my podcast, especially, you know, when people going through stuff, but then you reached out to me and I was like, oh, wow. I called my husband like, damn, I was just thinking about this because I saw her story and saw, you know, what she's going through and her mom and blah, 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 whatever. And then it went back to me seeing the pictures of the funeral. I'm like, oh shit, this shit is really real. Like, is this something that I want to talk about or even, because I'm a crybaby. So I've been on here like, oh God, get the tissues, because like, you know, because I've never been through anything.
That's my family thing.
Heard anything
You
like
gonna
that.
hold it together? I'm like, I can hold it together. You know,
The person that should have been asked is me, because if you was on here crying, I was gonna be crying with you.
Oh,
Like, I
yeah.
see somebody crying, and maybe not even know the story, but you know, it's just I'm an emotional person. I'm hardcore. My shell is hard, but I'm an emotional person, like a baby. I cry, baby, like breakable. So, you know, I don't let a lot of people in on that because you know what people will do. They'll try to use that to their advantage.
Of course.
But you can't break me. It's me. It's my heart. It's inside. It's what happens inside of me. So you know, I would have definitely been crying. I kept telling my daughter like, get the tissues. You forgot the tissue. You left the house too fast.
It was
Forgot the
Veterans
tissue.
Veterans Day.
Oh, it was Veterans Day, the holiday that you was thinking of.
Oh, Veterans Day.
The
Yeah.
audience is helping us. a
Yeah,
little
well,
bit.
thanks. Yeah, it was Veterans Day. It was
Okay.
a holiday, so
Oh, yeah.
she went in on that.
Keep
on
that.
Veterans Day.
That's something that you can add to your notes
Yeah.
so you'll know it just to be
Sure
specific.
did.
To keep
Yeah.
it specific. Thank y'all.
She
Okay.
did. It was the okay. Yeah, it was a holiday.
To
They
keep
were
it
closed.
specific. Just
Yeah.
add that to your notes.
Yeah. Sure did.
Yeah. So this is cool.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
It's
But you hang in there and you keep the faith, you keep your strength up, keep your head up, cover those babies, and I'm gonna ask that God continue to keep you
Oh,
covered
yeah.
and uplifted, and give you all the strength that you need, strength to understand and contentment, all of that, everything, all over. You know, people don't think that because of the type of person you are or what you show them that you know how to pray, but honey,
Oh,
the
baby.
power of prayer is amazing. This is what keeps me going and gets me through every single day and every
And I
obstacle
feel
that I
you.
face.
I pray like, I think I pray for like probably 5-6 times.
I mean,
Baby, listen,
I don't know how
I be
to
in the car, I be
Yeah.
at the
You
light,
have to.
I be baby
But
everywhere.
I pray for
I
me
go.
mostly because it's me that'll, you know what I'm saying? Like your reaction to things or whatever. Slow down. I be in the car and people get acting crazy and I got road rage. And then to be out there with road ragers and I just be like, oh God, Lord, just stop me, slow me down,
That's it.
calm me. Don't this and that, because if I had this or if I had that or I could do this, it's a lot. You just, you know, pray about small little things
Right.
until it leads to the big things. And I mean, he hears you. He hears all of them, you know.
Of course.
It's a powerful man upstairs, so you know, just as long as you have him wrapped in your arms and he got his arms around you, you'll seek the justice that you're looking for. And I mean, I commend you. I can't say that enough. Again, that's like over and over and over. Your strength is like admirable, you know, because we all say what we could or should or would do in a situation when we're not in it. It's very easy to say that, so I won't put that out there, but I admire you. And I think you're doing the right thing. It's holds a special place of mine. So I'm gonna definitely be praying for you. You, your entire family, especially babies.
No, I actually didn't. I feel like once they had their autopsy or their person to do their autopsy, it wasn't the jail that needed to release her body. I mean, once she had passed away, I mean, they really didn't care about her no more. She was no longer, you know, owe them anything no more or anything like that. So at that point, they was just like, okay, here you go. It was more so they held her body. Well, I more so held her body and my lawyer held her body because we wanted to have a second autopsy done because it was said that they seen error. So at that point, okay, cool. We wanted to make sure that they were satisfied with the findings. They wanted to make sure that they were satisfied with the testing that they had because the testing did take several weeks to come back.
Okay.
However, once my lawyer felt that he was satisfied with the testing that the doctor did on my mom, he just was like, okay, well, I'm satisfied with it. We can go ahead with service, and that's what we did.
Okay. So she was answering a question that somebody asked about if she had problems or difficulties with the jail releasing the body. That's where that stemmed from. And a lot of times, I guess they had no choice but to work with her at this point because there was nothing else left to do.
It was nothing else to do,
So
yeah.
releasing her body, but they had already released her when she got
They
there,
had,
right?
yeah.
So of course they didn't have any problems with releasing it because she was already gone
Yeah.
from the morgue. First she was gone from the hospital, then from the jail, then from the morgue. Like you was on the runaround
I was-
the whole while. But that's sad. It's just
Yeah.
very suspicious. So
Yeah.
keep your antennas up,
Yeah.
baby. You on to something?
Yeah.
Keep
So
your
it
antennas
sounds
up.
like some don't sound right.
Yeah.
It don't add up.
They covering something.
Oh yeah.
If it's something that's so small that could be, I'm not gonna say overlooked because nothing in a death is something that you think is a wrongful death. It should be overlooked, but something that's so small that they're turning into this big thing. But right now, what you're labeling is a wrongful death. Right?
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
I feel it. I feel it in my heart. They can cover it up all they want to,
Yeah.
or at least try to.
Well, it'll get uncovered.
But it's gonna get uncovered because, like I said, I did sign paperwork to stop all body cams, any police footage from the day that my mom entered police custody, any car videos, anything like that, any police reports that was made, anything that's regarding my mother, they cannot throw out, they can't try to cover up, nothing.
Because to walk in fine and then not be able to walk out is like, that's tragic. That's
Yeah.
tragic. So if anybody out there that's listened to the story or know someone that is in a situation similar to this, reach out, get some help. Fight. Don't just sit back and be quiet and not do anything. It could be you, it could be a family member, it could be a friend. Reach out and do something. Get a lawyer, contact some people and see what's what and look into it. Files can always be pulled. Cases can always be retried, everything. And a situation like this, if you think that this is you or, again, a family member or a friend, reach out.
Yeah.
Reach out and get help. Get the help that you need.
People cover it up. Whether it's from the jails, whether it's from hospitals. Like I said, I've seen it. You know, I've seen stuff be covered up at hospitals. I've seen deaths be covered up at hospitals.
Yeah.
I've seen it actually be on the nurses to where the cause of death of people and
It's covered up.
it's covered up.
Yeah.
And they will literally put, oh, they had a heart attack or they had this. Or, you know, no, it's because you didn't give the patient the proper medication, or you gave them too much, or you gave them too less, or you literally watched your drip go dry. Like,
And they got movies out, you know, about this type of stuff. So, you know, where do you think those titles and those ideas stem from? Real life situations. Some of them are actually true stories. Go and watch The Good Nurse if this shit is happening. And people don't have a reason, and they don't have like medical issues or, you know, things going on. They just don't care. The guy said at the end of that movie, I did it because nobody stopped me.
Yeah.
I kept doing it.
like they really don't care. Like, you will literally sit there in pain. They'll look at your history. Oh, they be here all the time. We just want pain medicine. They won't give them to them. Like, it really be people in pain or something wrong, and they will, oh, we'll get to them in a minute. I've watched it, so.
And that's why I can't express that enough, like, to my husband. If his finger hurt, he'll go to the hospital. That's just what he believed in or whatever. Me, I'm like damn near prone to pain, so I'll just suck it up, give me some pain meds, let me just try to make myself comfortable, get in the bed, lay down, I'll be okay. I won't go to the hospital. I just feel like they won't give me the, I don't know. It's this fear in the back of my head, and I'm just going to stick with that because it's been with me for all this time. I want to go against it, and then something bad happens or whatever. If something's wrong with me, I'm gonna probably die from it at home without even knowing. And I just feel better that way because normally, you know, like everything is mind over matter. You go and you find out something, and it's not that bad until you really know that it's there. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It becomes a bigger problem because you're worrying. It's mind over matter. So I'd rather just not know. It's okay. It's okay. But I really, really thank you. I really thank you and admire you for coming and being out and so forth with sharing your story with me, with the world, and whoever's watching. Keep sharing it.
I know, because we were supposed to do this before.
Yeah, but your lawyer advised you.
My lawyer was like, wait a minute. Hold up.
And that was right. You did the right thing.
We want to make sure that we have something set in stone. What they're saying is wrong with her, so that way we can, once they say that, we can go wild with it.
So you didn't want to have to not talk about anything that, you know, you want to just bring it all forward and put it all out there. And I appreciate you for choosing me to do this here on my platform. And you are welcome to come back any other time and find out anything else. When you want to share or elaborate on your story, we can do a part 2, however. But I'm definitely going to keep you in my prayers, and I appreciate you. Tea Talk with Ty is a wrap. Thank you so much for tuning in. Happily Rule. Y'all go and follow and reach out, share some things with her, share her story, and show her some love. Hello, guys.